Alright guys, welcome back. I almost didn't put up that last video because the paint, the blue paint, is not the color it's supposed to be. I was going to try to show you. I may have to find some sunlight here, see if I can find it. This is the blue it should be. This is the blue it is. I don't know how that's going to turn out on camera or not, but this is over a darker gray. This is over black, so you can tell a big difference in what it's supposed to have been, a dark blue versus almost an electric blue. And I don't know, so I'll give you another shot of it just in case you didn't see it, hadn't seen the last part. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna sand the blue back off, or not sand it off. I'm gonna scuff it real good. I don't know how you can tell, I mean, how good you're gonna be able to see in the interior, but the interior looks decent, except for where it was sprayed over the gray. It's still that bright blue. So I'm pretty much gonna have to spray the kick panel everywhere that I had sprayed the gray. I'm gonna have to spray the black, so at least I don't have to redo the ceiling or the back. That's actually the color it should have been. I don't know if y'all can really tell, but it's almost a real dark, it's almost black. And that's the reason when I get up on this black here, I can't really see the blue where I've painted or scuffed it up, or where actually the primer overspray hit. You can see the blue stand out real well, and it shouldn't. It should be black. So I got to scuff it up, and there's some areas I'm a little worried about. Right in here, I think it's overspray, because you can see I got a lot of orange peel, but it's kind of rough and dry feeling right here. So it goes from slick to rough. So I'm hoping that's going to sand and buff out. So what I'm planning on doing is just masking back off my tape line and hitting all the mask the bottom off, and hitting all the blue, rockers, even scuffing up the front, which I ain't too worried about the scratches. I'm gonna just hit it with a scuff pad and scuffing up back up the interior there, the dash. And I've got some black epoxy primer I'm gonna put down, and then I'll hit it again with a blue. I'll hit it again with a clear coat, and then I'm gonna go ahead and where the clear coat's gonna end is all gonna be hidden anyway. Here it gets hidden by that badge. Down here it gets hidden by that trim piece that goes down the side. If I can't buff this out, or it won't sand out smooth, I'll probably end up having to just sand all this back. May even go ahead and do that, and then do one clear coat back over everything. So I'm not done with the cab, unfortunately. It's just too damn blue. It wasn't that my stepson didn't like it. He seen the picture I took of it, but he hadn't come down here and looked at it. It's the fact that it's supposed to be that color blue, not that color. All right. And this still looks cream to me. Cream's cream. I mean, I can't see a damn bit of gray in that. I know it's glaring in here, so it's hard to tell, but It might look a little better in the sunlight, but in here on these LEDs, it looks like cream. So the problem is I've run out of mixing cups and I've run out of paint gun liners, and I'm waiting. I've already ordered them. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and start on these doors. Yesterday I got this one about half sanded. You see it's where this trim line was. It's a bit rusty, so I sprayed that with that rust converter. And there is Bondo. There was Bondo all down this door right here. A little bit down in here, but you can see the edge of this thing just covered in Bondo. So every bit of that has to be removed. And so far, I don't know why they even Bondoed it, because the only dents that I've seen was one dent right in here, and there was a little bitty dent in the door somewhere. I'll probably find it if I get the light against it just right. I went ahead and X-primered it so that it wouldn't rust, flash rust on me. But I don't know, guys. I don't know why they Bondo so much on it. So we'll try to get away with having to do all that Bondo. I'm afraid there's probably going to be a ripple somewhere up in here. But using that DA locked in grind mode, I've gone through about probably a dozen pads, a dozen pieces of 80 grit. So what I think I'm going to do is take my flat disc, put on my grinder, see if I can't finish it up today, at least this big section. And then a little bit of surface rust on the bottom. The rest of it looks pretty good, other than just along the bottom there's a pit. But I mean, you can see just from where I grind it, it does, yeah, there is a dent right there. I can feel it. So that's what I'm working on, guys. I'm getting these doors ready, and as soon as I get the doors ready to seal, we're going to do both the doors and the cab, hopefully. I don't know, depends on how long it takes me to get the doors done and ready. If I get the stuff this weekend, by the weekend, I'll probably go ahead and do the cab. And anyway, so that's the color it should have been. It's almost a black compared to what it's blue. But it's so faded. And I don't think this did not have clear coat on. I think this is a single stage paint. Probably why it's so faded. No clear coat. So anyway, that's what it is. And so when I was at the paint store, I went ahead and picked up some 800 grit DA paper. I'm going to use that to scuff up the cab with. And I got a quart of black epoxy primer, the JP377, and a pint of the JH3770 epoxy primer hardener. And I don't know why they didn't give me the black to start with instead of what they give me was the gray. Covered up, but it was gray. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'll keep you updated. When I get done with the doors, I'll add that to the end of this video, and we'll see what it looks like before the Bondo, or after the Bondo removal, rather. Alright, guys, it took me a minute, but I finally got the rest of this shit cleared off, and the only dent that the biggest dent I found is right up in here. It's a little bit rippled, a little bit right here, a little bit right there. This all up through here looks pretty good till you get to right here. Right here, it's split, it's cracked. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take a welder and tack that back together right there. It's a pretty big dent right there with that, so I'm afraid if I don't tack it, it's just gonna keep splitting and splitting. And of course, got a few rust spots, some deep places here I've got to get in. Along through here, a little rough, and you know, I think a lot of this is just what I did with my grinder. It's a little bit rough, but I think it'll be all right. Now this, where this strip was, it's a little rusty. It's kind of like that. So I'll probably go ahead and spray that. Spray the rest of this with a etching primer. I went ahead and sanded this down, got it smooth. This stuff here is hard. I mean, it is extremely hard. I took my flap disc and cleaned this up, and I decided that it was probably good enough. I got a little bit of a dent right here I may have to do something with, and maybe just feather it out. But I figured it was good enough. There's no Bondo on this, so what I left, I can't feel it. It's all feathered. You have to get that a little bit. But what I did was I took my my big DA and I went over it with it, and then I took that little 5-inch electric DA and smoothed up. That little electric DA will get this thing shiny and smooth. It'll take a lot of them scratches out, even with 80 grit. It's just finer movements. It's that little porter cable 5-inch with the hook and loop is great for feathering. I'm going to come back and hit right in here though. I can feel that pretty good. There's something right in here. I don't know what it is. But pretty much this side is ready to prime and paint, except for, like I said, a few dents here, one around that keyhole. This big in here. We'll go ahead and get some primer on here, block sand it, and we'll fill in all these little divots. As little body filler as possible. Around the edges it's kind of humped up a little bit. I took my hammer and tapped it down a little bit, but it's a little bit rough. Right here's the worst. Looks like it got hit right here. And it kind of mashed that in, so that's going to have something. But I think I'm going to go ahead and tack that and try not to burn through it. Get that stabilized, and then we'll go ahead and prime it up. Alright guys, got the etching primer sprayed back on it, and got it all coated up except for this strip here I sprayed with rust converter. And then prime that spot I sprayed yesterday. Gotta wait about 10 minutes, hit another coat, and that should be good for tomorrow to hit over with a primer. And we'll flip it over tomorrow and do the other side. So until then, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't.